The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome on here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin, and thank you for tuning in today. If you have any questions, you can give me a call live right now at 877-927-6648. Again, that's 877-927-6648. And I want to remind you, we have the free live Boston workshop, and you can go on and register for that right now over at tfnn.com. The top link there, again, is Boston Live Workshop right there. Click on it and fill it in. It's going to be free because Nadex is sponsoring it and giving away over $3,000 in prizes. And again, it's coming up Saturday, May 11th. And you just got to fill the form in. Seats are limited, and we've had a couple great ones. We had one out in Florida. We had another one in Colorado. We just had another one not too long ago in San Francisco. And heading on over to the East Coast. So all you folks up there in the New England area, definitely hop on and register for it today. Save your spot. And Dan Cook from the Nadex Exchange is going to be coming out and going over who Nadex is and what they're about. And Tommy O'Brien is going to teach you how to identify trade setups and how to set trades up, how to read volume, and a whole lot more. Taking your questions live and in person with screenshots and everything else to go with it. I'm going to go into Nadex binaries and Nadex spreads, talk about deviation levels, and go into more about what diagnostic trading is about, looking at fundamentals, seasonals, technicals, and statistics. And then we're going to come together and talk about risk and money management. So two of the most important aspects of any good trading plan. Once we wrap that up, then Dan Cook is going to roll it on out and announce the winners of the half ounce of silvers, the 1 ounce silver coins, the free subscriptions to the box spread analyzer books written by Tommy O'Brien, the gold report, and more. So newsletters and tools, tutorials, books, silver, I mean, just a lot of giveaways. Makes it a lot of fun. We'll be holding that at the Boston Marriott there in Burlington. So I look forward to meeting and seeing you, a bunch of you, out at that. So it looks like our registration is already picking up pretty good. So it's just right around the corner, and you will definitely want to get that space. And let's check out where the market is at right now. Right now, we got the S&P. It is screaming on up. It had a gap going on. It decided not to fill it. The Dow did. It filled it fast. We'll go back and review that here in a minute. We got the S&P up 10.5 points. We have the NASDAQ up 24. We have the Russell up 10.3 with the Dow up 67. Gold is currently up 34 points on the day. Been flying all night and just keeps moving on up. And we'll see how far it continues to climb. We got silver is currently at 5.6%. Silver is just been screaming. It's definitely the leader and the winner of the day. And gold, you know, not even a close second, 2.5%, which is still a big move. And looking on over at copper, it's up 2.6%. So it's trying to keep up with gold there. We got oil up $1.09. Commodities deciding to move on up there. So it's up over 1%. We got corn up $5.25, and we have soybeans also up 15 points on both of those. That's about a 1%. Looking on over at euro dollar, it's down 14 pips. Pound dollar moving 159 pips right now on the day, up 1% on the day. We got Aussie dollar up 29. We have the euro yen down at 32. The pound yen up $1.42. The U.S. yen is down 13. U.S. Canadian down 58, and the U.S. franc is down 12 points on the day. And that is your current market wrap. Now let's go over and let's see what is coming up, what came up in the news, and how did the markets respond. And when I say news, I don't just mean like random news, but you know, there's key levels that have happened. You know, like cable, I mean, taking off, breaking resistance, and you know, but the main thing just being the fundamental reports. But it came out on that news, man, the pound dollar. So let's open that one up first and look at it. And I'll pull that up over here on the charts. And I got it right here. So let me go in and zoom in that for you. But you can see that massive move on the news report. I mean, just took off. And I had a great news straddle trade going on right there. and talked about that being one of the ones throughout. That's preliminary GDP. And preliminary GDP is the strongest GDP number. And so you want to obviously be looking out for that one anytime that you're, trading. A preliminary GDP number is going to be your strongest GDP out of all the numbers that come out. And you can see it literally moved almost a full 2 deviations within less than a minute. And it came out and just flew. And so what happened? Well, the preliminary GDP came in way better than expected. Came in at 0.3, and they were expecting it to be 0.1. And the reason the preliminary GDP is such a strong number is it's the first of several GDP numbers that are released. So you got the preliminary, okay, then you have the second estimate, and then you have the final estimate. So the other estimates, they're basically, just updated data. Whereas the preliminary is based on the data we have right now. What do we assume that the GDP is going to be at? And so right now they're looking at a 0.3 from an expectation of 0.1. What was it last time? It was negative 0.3. So not only did it beat expectations, but it exceeded the last expectations, and the last expectations missed expectations. So last time it missed it, it was low, negative 0.3 versus the expectation of negative 0.1. This time they thought it would go up to 0.1, and it went up to 0.3. And that caused just a massive move in the pound dollar. And if you're using the 10-minute deviation method right there, I'll pull that up, I'll show it to you, and zoom on in. And let me see, I can get a couple things off of here. There we go. Got that. So right there, it moved on up, closed up above the deviation. So now we can go in and we can start trailing our stop on up. So we trail it on up right here on this bar that closed above the deviation level. And oscillated around for a while, oscillated, moved on up, closed right here above 3 deviations. There is basically a 0.3% chance it stays above there. And so obviously it's time to trail your stops. And so you trail it right there when it closes above. That's the simple method right there. It's very simple to do. And when it comes back down and hits it, depending upon what other methods you may use for trailing stops, but this gives you the broadest move to let your profits run. And when it does that, you hit it and put it 5 ticks below. So we got the low of 1.455, and it moves down to 1.450 right there at 10 a.m. this morning. That means moves over, may go flat, may go down, probably won't go up anymore. So definitely the time to, and if it does, well, then you can have another entry and you can take it. But you're locking in your profits. You're not giving them all back, which is what you want to make sure that you are taking advantage of each day when you trade. You want to let your profits have room to run, ideally at a point to where, you don't give them all back if they are running. And speaking of running, we got a lot of things moving right now. The S&P, just flying on up and running with that as well. But that's our pound dollar report. They also had index of services. That came in better than expected. Britain came in at 4:30 a.m. in the morning last night. Australia was on holiday. So they had the bank holiday along with New Zealand. And then if we roll on over, that was our main reports. Then this morning, we had unemployment claims come out. They came in better than expected, causing the market to get a little boost off of that at 8:30. And sometimes the market, will oscillate. You might get a gap fill on that one. That one did not work out. I don't think it's going to work out before the end of the day unless something else comes out. Who knows? But sort of doubting we're going to get the gap fill. And we can go over here to the 8:30 announcement. And as you can see right here on the U.S. yen, we got a decent move, not a massive move. But so right there, and 99.08, we went up to about 99.50. So, about 40 ticks or so on that trade. And a reminder, whenever you're doing these, you're looking to straddle the news. I'm not looking, now I can trade directionally if I'm using Nadex, if I want to, go in with the bias. That is a way to trade it. But one of the ways that I really just like to trade when I'm trading on Nadex is to go in and, simply take advantage of the expected volatility. So knowing that, hey, on this announcement, the market usually moves a lot. And I'll go in, I'll set my target prices. And so, like on the U.S. yen this morning, and I work with a couple traders on this, and we do this pretty regularly, but had an order like to buy at 99.19, one of the spreads, and to sell another one at 99.05, and order was to take profit at a 1-to-1 risk reward at 99.34. And so it was moving on up there, and the spread did expire at 10 o'clock moved on up. Probably it didn't quite fill our spread take profit order before expiration. Nevertheless, trade expired out. Let's see, right there. We can back down. It works a little bit better. Let me back it out so we can look at the 1 minutes, because that'll let you really see what was going on in the chart. And so okay, it was right there. A little bit of break-even distance move requirement. So if you didn't get your fill, then you were still okay, because when it expired out, I mean, at 99.39, you definitely got your fill. So if you didn't get your fill, you got it right there, and helping make that trade a profitable one for you. So looking over at the pound dollar, how do we do that one? And I'll show you how to actually pick these out here in just a moment. But over in the pound dollar, if we go on back to 430, you'll know it when you see it. There you go. Okay, so what were the trades called out this morning on the pound dollar one? So right there we had, and it gapped so hard so fast, you actually got a higher fill on the trade. But went in at the 6 a.m. expiration contract and went in to actually do a buy order to buy the, let's see, 52.90 to 54.40. So let me draw it on the screen. Helps make a little more sense when you see it. So right down here, and click this. So we got 52.90, okay? And up to, that trade's going to expire, like I said, around 6. I mean, it goes quite a bit of ways over there. But up to 54.40. So right about here. That's how much money, like you can make money basically up to that ceiling. And if we shrink it down, then we can go here and have a lower spread. Right here at 52.90 down to 51.40. Okay? Now we buy one of the spreads. The one that we buy that at 53.05. So a little premium in there, right there. And then we sell the one that we sold right down here. The sell was 52.78. Let me redraw that. 52.78. And then what happens is, what is our risk? So what's our risk on this trade? Well, it's going to be the difference between where we bought and the floor on the buy side. So on the buy side, if we bought at 53.05 and the floor is 52.90, you just subtract the difference. And what's cool about Nadex spreads, all of them always tick in increments of 1, like 1 or 0.1 or 0.0001. They always tick in the value of $1. All right, we're going to be back in a minute, and I will show you how the risk works on this and how to quickly find the best spreads for your trades. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this break.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzavento, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces. And over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And what we're going into right now is just looking at this pound dollar trade right here. And we got anything we bought at the price of what? 1.5305. So 1.5305. And the floor of that spread was 1.5209. Wait a minute, let me do that again. 1.5305 minus 1.5209. There we go. And I keep typing in the wrong thing. 5290. That's what it is. I got dyslexia this morning. All right, so we'll go on back. 1.53. It could be dangerous as a trader, right? 1.5305 minus 1.5290. 15. Okay. Yeah, it's like 90. There's no way. So $15 risk on the trade. How do I know that? Every spread ticks in an increment of 1. Wherever that 1 is, it's the last digit. So that last digit is the 1. And so if I want to get rid of the decimals here, just divide it by how it ticks. So 0.00001. So 0.00001. I get 15. Every tick is worth $1. So it's $15 right there. So that's basically our risk on the trade is $15. Okay? And on the bought side. Well, now we have the sold side. We got to factor in both sides' risk. And going on over and checking out. Okay, so what do we got? Well, we got the sold. We sold it at 1.5278. What was the ceiling? It was 1.5290. So look at that. That's 12 ticks. We divide it by 0.0001. We get 12. And every tick is worth $1, so $12. So $15 on the bought one. Okay, $12 on the sold one. And now what we'll do is we'll bring up and look at, add them together. So 15 plus 27. That's our, 15 plus 12. So 27. And that becomes our total risk on the trade. Now, what does it take to make 1-to-1 on the buy side? What does it take to make 1-to-1 on the sell side? Well, you need to make $27, right? Because that's your total risk. But you got to remember, you're not just buying. You're not just selling. You're buying and selling. Now, this one can't lose more than 12, and this one can't lose more than 15. But if this one, if it shoots up like it did today, this one is going to lose 12. So not only do I need to make the $27 on the bought one to have a 1-to-1, but I also need to make up for the $12 I'm going to lose on the sold. So I add in $12. And then I go up here. So we'll do that backwards. So there we go. Go right here, and I need to make not only the $27, but I also need to make the $15 on the bought side, 42. That'll put me at a 1-to-1 ratio. If I make 39 ticks on this side or 42 ticks on this side, then I'll make not only my risk back, but on the side that lost, but I'll also make the total risk, netting me out at a 1-to-1. So what does that mean I need to get in at? Well, get out at. Well, if I bought the pound dollar at 1.5305, okay, and I need to get out 30, 9 ticks higher, so plus 0.0039. That puts me at basically 0.05344. All right, so that's where we're actually going to put a set take profit. Now you could add in a few dollars there for your exchange fees as well. So you're looking at two sides, $1.80 on one side, 90 cents on the other. So you could add $2.70 into that. You'd be about $47, $48. But as far as your pure 1-to-1, $53.44 on the buy side is where you need to sell out. And then on the sold side, okay, we'll go in here and I sold at let's see here, buy sell 1.5278 minus 0.0042. So 52.36. And again, you can add a couple dollars into that to cover all your fees. So you could actually get, say, 52.34 if you wanted to. But 53.44, 52.36. And these are the main price levels that I need to know to do this trade. So that's what's going to have to happen. So now, when we come back, we'll talk about putting that together and go, well, is that realistic? Is it a good idea? Is there a good spread? How do I find it? And we'll be right back after this break.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, gives you Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. With Market Insights, nothing is left to guessing. With the market at record levels, volatility is here, and now is a perfect time to take advantage of a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights. As recently as March 26th, Tom advised his subscribers to liquidate their 4 short-term equity holdings, closing out all 4 positions for a combined 15.9% profit. And on April 1st, Tom advised his clients to sell their longer-term position in AIG warrants, locking in more than a 40% profit in just that one trade. If you'd like to see the kind of newsletter Tom O'Brien sends out to his subscribers each morning, then sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. Okay, so we're laying this trade out. And shout out to David for doing such a good job on putting this one together. And so as we're putting it together right here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the risk right here. So we're going to get rid of these little pieces right here. We know we have a $27 risk on the trade. So I'll put that up. We'll set that aside for a second. And we know what our take profit and stop loss, or take profit prices are. We don't have to have a stop loss because we can't get stopped out of the trade. We have until expiration to be right. Now, sometimes if the market's not moving, I will look to get out of the trade at break even. So right here, we go down and we say at 50 to 36. We're going to, on the sell, we buy it back. That's 1 to 1. What about, go here where I bought? Well, I bought up here, so what if I get out at 53.44? That's 1 to 1. Okay. Well, as we know, it took off and did really, really well. I'm trying to back out so we can actually see the deviations on here that I have them labeled. And there we go. All right, so it was sitting right here at about settlement price. It moved up, and that puts our deviation a little above the 1 deviation level, but we're also, it's not 1 deviation from where we're at. So, and on the sell side here. So we can go in now. where do you get those deviation levels? How does that work? And then how do you find the actual spread? How do you put the pieces together? So what you do is you log in to the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer. They're in your member area. And with that, you should be able to, see what it is that you need to see in order to, place the trade, do the trade correctly, and everything else. So let me bring that up. I'll show it to you, and we'll go through the pieces. So 1 minute on that. And we have on the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer over here. In this area, is you can actually see this. I don't know if it's coming through yet, but it should here in a second if it's not already. There's a little lag time. All right. So we got that through, and what you can see is you can pick any instrument you want. But before you pick your spreads, you want to, make sure you know what your deviation levels are. Is that realistic? Ideally, I want my take profits within a deviation of where it's at. So sometimes that's one deviation level. Sometimes that's one deviation itself. So if I'm going down and looking at pound dollar, well, what was the deviation move on pound dollar? It was 66 pips. So I'm looking up 66 pips higher. Well, if you remember, our take profit was 47 ticks higher than where we were doing it. And basically, it was just inside a deviation on both sides. Okay? So on both sides right there, it was within 66 ticks. That's what I'm looking for. I want it to be inside that one deviation move. And our take profits were within inside 66 ticks up, 66 ticks down for the trade. And I can even go here and click on this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Maybe a little hard to read. I'll bring it down to where the market was before the announcement came out. Let me change my background. I'll make it easier for you to see it, maybe. Or make this. All right, there we go. Okay, so right there we have that on there. How far is that from where it had to move? About 55 ticks from where the market was to where we were targeting. And I can do basically the exact same thing on the way down. And go here, where was the market at? Where did I have to get to? And then what was that level right there? And I can see that that was 48 ticks. So both of those are inside that 66 tick one deviation move. That's an acceptable profit target. Okay, so check. That's in place. Now, which spread am I going to choose? And you have time to do this, by the way, okay? We're not talking like this is a 30-second trade. You know the news is coming out. It's coming out at 4:30. It's very timed. So you have time to sit down for a minute and look at, plot what is one deviation, how far is that, from where the market's at, and I mean, yeah, it'll fluctuate a few ticks, but you can take advantage of that. You go to the spread scanner, you choose pound dollar, and then I'm going to go for, anytime I'm doing a straddle, I'm going to go, hey, I want a 1-to-1 or better, and I don't want to risk more than $100. Okay? And instantly, I'm going to see all the spreads for the pound dollar, and I can actually build a risk-reward model, so depending on how much time I want. So let's say I want 80 minutes till expiration. I could go in and I could choose, this is a $13 risk. And that's a $7 risk right there. So I can go in, I can do a trade for $20 risk, a straddle on the pound dollar at this moment for that. And has $136 profit potential on both sides. So if I'm ready, then I simply just go up here. I can choose demo or live. Okay. And I can hit buy. What will happen is it'll then open a ticket for me in the Nadex platform, and then I can hit sell, and it'll open a ticket for me. Then I just hit submit on that ticket button when it opens up. So I don't even have to go in and deal with any of the other stuff. It literally is just right there for me, and makes life really, really easy. Without I don't have to go search now and find this pound dollar 1.54305580 3 p.m. I don't have to go look for it. It's right there, so it'll be really, really easy for me to see. And that literally is sort of beginning to end on that. Now, once I've opened my ticket over in the Nadex platform, then I'll be able, at that point, to then set my take profit right away. Because some of these things, they just fly, and that's not bad. What's bad is when they fly and then they reverse really quick, and you didn't get a chance to put in your take profit. Now, if they fly fast enough, you can actually get a larger profit on the trade than your order, because your order is at this price or better. So it may go so fast that you actually get filled at a better price when the market opens back up. And so if we go over and we look at the indices, or the forks here, again, I just click here, and that'll open a ticket for me. Okay. So I got this ticket, and then I'll click here to open this ticket. And then I, buy this one, and then I sell this one. Done. Okay. Well, if I bought them, what am I going to do to get out? I'm going to sell. And so let's just say that's 40 ticks higher. I need to change this to a sell order and change it to, say if it's 46 higher, we'll change it to 79 and hit place order. And if this is the one I sold, I need to buy it back. So change that to a buy. And then 46 lower would be about 388. So right there, hit place order. And then my trades are in, they're filled. And I don't have to worry about whether or not, I was actually able to get in on a trade. And I don't have to worry about getting out of the trade and being fast enough to take profit on that trade. So definitely an essential piece to, being successful on the trade. And let's see here. But what you'll see is right here in your Nadex platform. If I pull that up, then what you'll do is you'll be able to view, okay, I'm long 5 of these, I'm short 5 of these, and I have pending take profits on both of them. And they'll deduct the risk out of your account. So they'll take the risk out of your account. And then whenever you, at the end of the trade, when you close it, they'll put the net profit plus the risk back if you're profitable. But you won't have any more money come out. So you won't get margin called. You can't lose more than you put up. You don't have to get out of the trade no matter what direction it goes, no matter how far it goes against you. You can. And, a lot of times I do on certain trades, depending upon exactly what trade it is that I'm doing. But I don't have to do that on the trade. And so that's the summary. It's, there's some pieces to it, but it's not overly hard. It's an announcement coming out. It's a high impact announcement. I don't know what direction it's going to go. I want to buy and I want to sell. And so that way I don't have to pick direction, and I want to make a 1-to-1 risk reward. So, that's just a, combination of the different pieces that I go through when I do these trades. But if I was trying to do this and try to find all these spreads, it'd be very difficult. So that's why I had this built to calculate all of the live Nadex spreads for me, with all the math. How much time do I have? What's the direction? What's the break-even distance? What's my maximum risk? What's my profit potential? And so I can easily find the best spread for my trade. And do a little research, do a little homework. But again, that's a news trade. Now, if I'm just doing a regular trade, if I'm just like buying or selling something, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to pick my direction after I pick my market. And then I'm going to choose, I can at the money spread. And at the market spread. And so all these different spreads pop up. I can choose which one I want out of all of them. Here's the trade right now. It expires at 3 o'clock. 10 pips to break even. Only 3 pips more than the other ones. Only $15 risk. I don't have to get stopped out of that trade. I can take that trade for the next hour and 15 minutes. And my whole risk and margin is $15. So if that didn't exist, and maybe there was one that was in between, I might decide to have a potential stop loss. And if the market moves up, I could sell a spread that, basically trail my stop, lock in my profit, or just get out. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you could take advantage of them. But that's a perfect spread right there. So if you were wanting to go long pound dollar at this moment, that would be the spread to choose. So let's see here. Let me pull up. We'll pull up the pound. We have the pound dollar chart up. So right now, remember, it hit 3 deviations. So we are not surprised that it's pulling back. But if you're willing to buy back up and you think maybe, hey, it's going to go back up and hit those highs, only be $10 for you to do it. Very, very, very low risk. And then you could also go in here and go, okay, well, I like that trade. That one's good. So, let's go and see if there's one on the other side. We have some other choices too. Is there one that expires at 3 that's a low risk? Yeah, there's this one right here. So they cross over a little bit there. And pretty low risk on that trade, only 5 pips to break even. And if I want to get rid of all the other spreads, I can just say, maximum risk, $25. And there we go. So now you can see, hey, there's the 2-3 o'clock spreads that are within 10 ticks to break even or less. They're both at the money, at the market spread, so that means they're going to move very fast along with the underlying market. And if the market does oscillate back up to the price it was just at, then I have a great trade. And like I said, there's a lot of different ways to trade. So you can, what I'm wanting to show you is that you can implement this into your trading style. And so right here, I mean, this is a move of about 20 ticks up or 30 ticks down between the deviation levels right now. Well, my risk is about 20 ticks on the trade. So, combined. So if I go both directions, remember I talked about that just like on the news, if I only think it's going to go 20 up or 30 down on a $20 risk, I'm only going to make 20 bucks up. So I'm basically going to make my risk back on one side. I'm only going to make about 50% on the trade if it actually does move that far. Now, if it moves further, of course, obviously, you could make more. But the expectation is the market is exhausted at this point. And so at this point, I would not actually be wanting to hop in this trade and take it simply because once that 10-minute deviation stop was hit, I expect that the market will, go flat. And it pretty much has. So it, came down a little bit, but pretty much flat on the day. So that gives us our summary on the news trades for the main news trades for the day. And we went through the pound trade. We went through the dollar-yen trade on unemployment claims. New Zealand's coming out tonight. You can't trade New Zealand dollar on Nadex yet. Tonight, you're going to have the monetary policy statement on the USD yen. And here's a little trick for you. No, you don't know what time they're going to release it. Okay? So that's a fact. But here's what I can tell you. Is it came out at 12:40 last time. The time before that it came out at 11:24 p.m. The time before that 11:39 p.m. The time before that 11:47 p.m. The time before that 12:01 p.m. Seeing a pattern? Okay, so 11:30 or after, you could actually trade that. So you'd look for an expiration after 11:30, probably looking around 1 o'clock for that trade. And you can even go later and later and later. Call rate ought to come out at the exact same time each time. So I'll look those up and tell you. So that's sort of your nighttime trade. Even though we don't have the exact time of release, we know historically, let's see, we got 12:40, 11:24, 11:39, 11:47, 12:01. Yeah. So you should be expecting that basically to come out somewhere between 12:40 and, 1:40. And so you could hop in that trade, and I guess that'd be so 12:40, 1:40 actually be looking like at 2 a.m. possibly expiration, 1 a.m. expiration, or you could choose binaries. I mean, they have 3 a.m. expirations. That'd be perfect for looking at on these as well. So you can strangle the binaries instead of straddling the spreads. But your monetary policy statement tonight, and again, I'll read those times out for you again: 12:40, 11:24. And what I'm doing is I'm reading out the times that it has come out in the past: 11:24 p.m., 11:39 p.m. 11:47 p.m. Let's see here, 12:01 a.m., 12:40 a.m., 11:24 p.m. So that one came out a little bit earlier. 11:24 p.m., 11:39 p.m., 11:47. So you're probably going to be wanting to look to get in the trade by 11:15. Okay. And like I said, the latest I've seen on the trade, we'll go over. I'll make sure you understand exactly step by step what to do on that. And we'll be right back after this break.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page of TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. And you're just checking out everything that's going on with the market and doing your market wrap-up. But we got our pound dollar set up. And like I said, we're going to make sure you know that time for the potential monetary policy statement trade you could do tonight. So we got as late as 12:40, as early as 11:24. I think I'm going through. So over and over again, that's what I'm seeing right now in the history. So if we could come out that early, then you probably want to be in by 11:15 at the latest, okay? Which means you could choose a 1 a.m. expiration that comes out between 11:24 and 12:40, takes off, that's your trade. You also could look at the 3 o'clock expirations or the dailies. So those would be your two choices right there. 3 o'clock on the binaries, the 1 a.m. or 1 a.m. on the binaries or spreads, or the 3 p.m. on dailies or binaries. So I guess those would both be choices for you. Even have 7 a.m. on binaries. They've added a lot of cool new binaries out there. And anyways, we looking at all those trades. That wraps up your news for tonight. What do we have tomorrow morning to make sure you're ready to go? We got, by the way, they're going to keep going. They have a Bank of Japan press conference. That'll come out in the morning, and they have an Outlook report coming out at 2 a.m. So if you're really trying to capture all of this move, if more stuff just keeps coming out, the press conference sometimes can be the biggest impact, by the way. Okay? So with that press conference, you really might want to be looking over at binaries. So it's like 334, 332, 324, 204, 341. So you may be, you could also have a couple plays, but you might want to check even, like I said, the 7 a.m. binaries. That might be your best bet. I'd compare 7 a.m. binaries to 3 p.m. spreads and see which one gives you the better risk-reward for that 1-to-1. Like, which one can you get it tighter? And those may be the two best ones you want to focus on. We'll get on over and checking out a few other things. Let's see if there's anything else we can focus on for tomorrow. We got advanced GDP. Now, that's not preliminary. Okay? It's advanced, which is still more impactful. So we got advanced, preliminary, and final. And the advanced is the earliest release in the U.S., and it has the most impact. So you know what happened on pound dollar? Well, they missed expectations or exceed them. Get ready for it. And I don't care if you trade news or not. Look both ways before you cross the street. You learned that when you were a little kid. It applies to trading. If there's a bus coming, you better be aware it's coming. So there could be a bus coming. So no matter what you're trading, the United States advanced GDP, highest impact GDP number that comes out is coming out tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. And so, you may want to tighten some stops and, things like that before that number comes out if you're in a trade. You may want to get out. You may want to hedge with Nadex. You may want to trade Nadex. So the highest impact currency pair looks like it fluctuates a little bit, but overall seeing consistent high impact on the USD yen. So right now on that GDP, the advanced GDP number when it comes out. And that gives you the news for tonight and tomorrow that you can take advantage of over at Nadex. And so looking over here right now, what do we got on the market as we do our wrap-up for the day? We got the S&P up 13 points. We have the NASDAQ on up 25 right now. We have the Russell is up 11.3. And we got the Dow up 93, gold up 34, silver up over 6% on the day right now, oil climbing up over $2. Corn and soybeans basically flat, closed out for the day. Euro dollar flat, pound dollar still up 169 pips. All right, y'all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Stay tuned. We have another great show coming up for you right after this.
Let me tell you something, folks. I have people coming up to me saying, I just can't believe the amount of work that Steve does on his newsletter. And I says, I absolutely agree.
That is a recent clip from the Money Masters show that Tom and I do each day at TFNN. My newsletter service, Mastering Probability, is much, much more than a newsletter. Yes, it's outperformed the S&P 500 by 100% during the last 15 months. But more importantly, it's an extraordinary education, a roadmap for your success. And it's yours risk-free for the next 30 days. Just go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and then Mastering Probability, because everyone needs a success strategy. For most, it's a competitive edge, the will to win, the drive to overcome any obstacle. Whatever you call it, winners find a way. Find your way to Mastering Probability today, because your journey to extraordinary rewards is just one click away.